Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another Veve and Ecomi video. So a lot of people have been asking me why I think Omi will be able to reach $10, and my thought process when I look at an investment and things like this. Why I sold out of Cardano, things like that. Like, a lot of people are curious of my mindset and how I see things. Um, First off, for the Cardano thing, Cardano is a bunch of promises, and Omi is proven. They're proving themselves and this team, their history, their background. They have decades in what they're doing. They're strong. Cardano is a very good idea and it looks very, very promising, but I believe in Omi more. It's really that simple. When I look at an investment, I know people always preach diversification and things like that, but most people have not become successful diversifying. Most people take wild risks. And it's not really wild. They obviously do their research. They see something that other people can't see and they go all in on it. Like the Dogecoin millionaire. He's definitely sees something that a lot of people didn't see. But I mean, it's been working out for him. And not to make that comparison because that's not something that I necessarily would ever do. But I mean, it did work out for him. So sometimes people just see things that you can't see and have faith in things that you probably wouldn't have as much faith and comfort in. So when it comes down to my belief in the Omi $10 that Omi can reach $10, it basically comes from the fact that I know who I'm investing in. And I say who because anybody can come up with a good idea, a good business, but very few people can follow through and make that business successful. And what this team, every member on this team has proven is that they spend decades being very, very successful at what they do. They have spent literally decades in these fields working super hard. I know people who go through like 3, 4 jobs a year. And this team has been in their jobs for decades and working with the same companies, the same businesses, working within the same circles for decades. Yeah, like it's something special there. It's something different there. And I think that one of the biggest arguments against it is the market cap. People are like, oh, $1 trillion market cap is never going to happen for Omi. Omi can never have $1 trillion market cap. Um, Dogecoin, once you look at Dogecoin market cap, you like it's not logical to say something can never happen. You look at Dogecoin and it's illogical. And a lot of people say, oh, well, Dogecoin had Elon Musk. You can't really compare that. Yeah, Dogecoin did have Elon Musk, but you don't think that Veve has something that Elon Musk would be interested in? So it is 100% reasonable to suspect that at some point throughout Veve's history, it could attract Elon Musk and many other influential people, as well as the biggest licenses in the world that are. I don't know. I don't know. See, that's the thing. Are these licenses bigger than Elon Musk? I think that I know a lot of people that don't watch or care for Elon Musk whatsoever. But some of these brands can touch these people. So these brands, especially collectively, are bigger than Elon Musk. So if Veve starts getting this promotion from these different brands and getting in the right circles, being put in front of these different fan bases and things like that on a regular basis and starts dominating, um, yes, I mean we could have the same impact on Veve as Elon Musk had with Dogecoin. The hype around Veve can be very, very huge. All you need is one super viral YouTuber coming out making short films on Veve, using the Veveverse, making these short films where they're doing all this acting, doing these role playing videos. All you need is a few of these to go viral. Like, what if somebody creates an epic Batman versus Superman type of scene or something like that, and it end up going viral? You get that on Twitter and it has that insane organic reach. All it takes is one Veve YouTuber who really is just like a purely Veve YouTuber using that platform and takes this platform and makes something huge out of it. Then kids just want to hop on the platform strictly to support this YouTuber and to see like, and that's the thing. That's what Veve can breed. It's so many different variables that a lot of people would never consider. Because I come from the gaming community, I know how impactful things like this are. Honestly, I've created whole genres of content within gaming. And like things were not popular whatsoever. Like when I first started, in Call of Duty a long time ago, I built my name in Call of Duty back on my that was my very first YouTube channel, my very first time doing YouTube. I really wasn't very good at YouTube at that time, but I was good at writing and scripting and stuff like that. Like a lot of people, you probably wouldn't be able to tell from this channel, but I am good at editing. I'm good at all of that stuff. But what I did was in Call of Duty, I created a niche where I was teaching people how to be a pro gamer, how to be at pro level and things like that. And it was a whole motivational series. And that was something that people never thought that they would even be looking for. And I ended up having a big following of people just wanting to see that type of content. So I know how impactful it can be just creating a genre, or creating hype around something, because that was something that a lot of people looked forward to. So on the bigger scale, role-playing videos, there was an initial guy who said, yo, let's take these characters in GTA, let's take these characters in Fortnite, Roblox, and let's do role-playing videos and act out certain scenes and act out things. So that builds insane hype. That builds insane hype, and hype that you can't really, like, no promotion is going to, like, what if this community gets a KSI? What if we have a KSI in this community using the Veve app? What if Veve makes the app such an experience where we have somebody to the magnitude of KSI or Logan Paul? Regardless of how you feel about these YouTubers, if you like them, if you don't, they have an insane huge influence and a huge impact. So what if we get a YouTuber of that caliber, and where it's like purely entertainment, like insane, like, because right now we have a bunch of crypto people, we, like me myself, covering crypto topics, news, and things of that matter. It's very, very serious. It's a very serious ecosystem. We do have a few YouTubers out here on the entertainment side, but those YouTubers aren't really shining right now. One, because they don't have the tools to shine. Two, because Veve does not have enough casual users where it's like they're strictly here for Veve and Veve only, to actually have like a huge fan base just doing Veve. So it's, Veve is still so young, and when people say it's never going to hit $1 trillion, you're taking the collectibles industry. You have brands like big sports industries. You're taking the comics industry. You're taking the gaming industry. All of these $billion industries you're taking and you're putting into one thing, and the marketing that can come behind us having a mega star as a YouTuber, somebody coming in here with a crazy personality that attracts the internet, that brings attention from the world, like, and obviously that's things that somebody in technical analysis, you're not going to take that into consideration. The one chance, the small chance that you're going to have some KSI style YouTuber come in and blow up the interest in this project, it's not likely. And that's something that's why I don't necessarily depend on technical analysis. I look at the world and I come down to my own conclusions based on what I see in the world. 10 years from now, let's look at the gaming aspect of Veve and what is actually possible. So they said that in order to do something like create a super metaverse, a huge Ready Player One type of metaverse, it would take like a huge team, and it would take like 10 years for a huge team. Veve is planning to be around 10 years from now. And what this team has shown is that when it makes sense to do something and start heading in a direction, they're willing to switch gears, pivot, and go in that direction. So when it makes sense to target gaming and gamers and to tweak the experience of the Veveverse to where it can be a huge full-on game if they want to go that direction with it, they are willing to pivot and do that if it makes sense. And at some point, let's say you have a whole big gaming YouTuber comes in this community, he blows it up, he gets a whole bunch of gaming fans here excited and things like that. I feel like it would make sense at that point if you have millions of people on your platform strictly here because of big gaming YouTuber. And that's what you have to take into consideration. Veve can attract any and everyone. Every single gaming YouTuber you have ever seen on a platform with these kids and this huge fan base, every single one of them, there is something that they would enjoy that Veve has. There is something that every single gaming YouTuber, every celebrity, everyone in the world, Veve has something that they would enjoy. KSI loves Dragon Ball Z. If they release Dragon Ball Z at any point in time, I'm pretty sure KSI would be interested. So all it would be at that point is a matter of putting Veve in front of his face and explaining what it is. And honestly, he's an investor too. So understanding that this could be an investment and things like that, that would be very big as well. So it's just a matter of getting Veve in front of the right faces. And the thing is, once you put Veve in front of the right faces, there's going to be interest because it's such a great project. Then you look into the team, you do your due diligence. The team has very great resumes. These are leading figures in the world. It's not like just leading figures in they're leading in the world. Like, these guys have done things that, like, bringing Pokemon to New Zealand. David Yu is insane. Bringing Pokemon to the world, Al Khan is insane. Like, you have to understand the magnitude of what this project could really be. Like it's obviously people say, oh, the technical analysis does not support this. We don't have any of the map or anything from the VV verse. But let's say they add in the VV verse, and that is not enough. They have shown that they will add in more. They will do more. Let's say we get one exchange. That's not enough. Another exchange. They already said they're trying to do 5-6 exchanges this year. So they're willing to do more and keep doing more and keep changing things in order to make it more beneficial to the investors. So people saying $1 trillion market cap is not likely. Like, how many businesses come out of the gate in beta mode making $40 million in a few months? Like, how many businesses come out the gate doing that? How many businesses come out the gate with a DC Comics license and come out the gate with a Marvel license? Like, how many businesses do what Veve is doing? The reason that you can't really compare Veve to other market caps and compare Veve to other cryptos and things like that is because what Veve is doing has never been done before. It has never been done in the history of the fucking world. So people try to really use these realistic expectations for Veve when what's your criteria for what's realistic? There is no realistic Veve. Veve has never been done before, and it's one of a kind. So all that means is they need to continue innovating. If they do this and they don't fuck it up, you don't know how far this can go. This could be an insane project. So my thoughts on this is a business that realistically will probably be around for a minimum of like 20 years. It'll probably be around for like a minimum of like 20 years. So I know a lot of the investors are planning to get out at like year 5, between a year 5 and 10-year time span. But the longer the token is here, the longer burns and things are happening, the better off and more valuable it's going to become. By year 5, if we've hit $1, if we're a little over $1, depending on where we are, it will continue to become more and more valuable because it's not like the collecting industry is going to stop. And at that point, at the 5-year mark, what they're doing in the VV verse, like all these different features and things like that, they'll be adding more. They'll be bringing more utility to the token. They'll be doing so much more. What people fail to realize is how much they have actually accomplished in just a few months. Veve has only been around for a few months, and look at all they've accomplished. So give them 6 more months. Then what happens? Give them 6 months after that. Then 6 more months. And keep in mind, every 6 months, they're still expanding their team greatly. So they're expanding their team. They're still dropping successful drop after successful drop after successful drop. They still have a bunch of brands in the chamber. Frank Kozik himself said that they have 10,000 pieces of his work alone. So they're getting this content by the boatload. If they got 10,000 of just him, like literally they could, I mean, Veve wouldn't survive if they did this. If they only, I'm sorry, Frank, I mean, I'm just making a point here, but if they only drop Frank Kozik stuff, I mean, they could technically do that. That would definitely kill Veve, but they could do that. That's how much content they have from one man. They probably could only drop DC Comics stuff and survive. Like obviously they're gonna limit their fan base and who it caters to and stuff like that, so they never would do that. But that's just to show the amount of content they have access to, and I think that's a very big thing. It's a very big deal. And look at Marvel and all their brands. Marvel, what Marvel's press release, what that said to me, that partnership that really finding Veve to be the best partner for them. That wasn't a thing where it's like, here, take our license, do what you got to do. That's a Marvel believes in Veve, which means we're going to be seeing some insane things coming from the Marvel camp and the Veve camp. They're releasing comic books. They're trusting Veve to deliver their comic books and create a whole new digital comic book experience for their users. This is what they're trusting Veve with. There will never again in the history of the fucking world be a first digital comic book the way Veve is going to do it, with the blessing of Marvel. Veve is doing things that has never been done before. Veve is really innovating and changing the game, and I think that people really sleep on what's being done here. So I understand that people like to stay realistic and keep their expectations low so you don't end up disappointed and things like that. But coming from the industries, I've been in business, I've been in gaming, I've been in all these spaces. So I know just how huge these things can be. I know how influential and how impactful different YouTubers, entertainers, and things like that could be. Um, it like Veve has the potential to do something that we have never seen before throughout the history of the world. Veve has the crypto space, the crypto has the potential to do something that we have never seen throughout the history of the world. But what you're not going to do is get a lot of people's grandparents to invest in crypto. It's not happening. It's not happening. No matter, like, you don't matter who you are, a lot of people's grandparents are not going to invest in crypto. I guarantee you can get a lot of your grandparents to invest in Veve. And once Veve adds this token utility, makes it easy for people to invest in Omi without actually having to do it. Like, if they could do it just by swiping their credit card and they're technically investing in Omi, you can convince your grandparent to do that, even if it's for a grandchild. Be like, oh, they just released this they released this new cars toy. The baby love cars. Instead, like, get him this. Like, he plays on his iPad all day anyway. He would like this cars thing for his birthday. And the best part about it is, after you spend this money on him, this is an asset. It's a digital asset, which means it still is going to retain its value. It's going to retain its value, and it's going to be something where if he gets old, he outgrows it. If he no longer wants it, you can then sell it back on a marketplace and exchange it for something that he's more interested in now, because Veve has all these different brands. So this can be marketed to a parent. It can be marketed to a grandparent. It can be marketed to anyone in the world. All you need is the right influencers doing it. You need the right team putting it on the right commercials in movie theaters, putting it on freaking popcorn bags in the movie theaters. Like, you need these moves being made. Now, obviously, Veve is not at the scale and at the point where a lot of the big things, the marketing plays that can be made, they're doing that. Just like we're seeing, like, this is the beginning stages with the marketing that we got from Marvel. This is just the beginning. And by the way, how many new companies do you see getting Marvel and then getting this type of press and coverage as Veve has just gotten by partnering with Marvel? How many startups is doing that? So Veve is doing things that's never been done before, yet everyone thinks that it's logical to compare Veve and the results of the crypto market or anything else. The biggest thing, like, you cannot compare Veve or Omi to Bitcoin. You can, and not because Bitcoin is just super superior, because it's not. Bitcoin had to get shit on, spit on. Bitcoin had to go up and down and go through all these trials and tribulations just to be adopted and just to be accepted. And it's still not going, it still hasn't hit its max potential. Veve and Omi don't need that. You don't have to, it does not have to prove itself. Partially because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is starting to solidify itself, which is making the other cryptocurrencies look better and look good and things like that. But at the same time, Veve and Omi, it has its own value from licensing that's separate from any crypto space or any of that stuff. Veve is superior to the majority of cryptos and pretty much in companies and things like that. Veve is superior to a lot. And when you really have clarity of what's actually going on here, like, I know that it's a lot of promises and things, and people don't feel like every promise has been delivered and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, what they're doing is amazing. When you actually come from the business world and you see a lot of what's going on right now, you understand that what Veve is doing is absolutely incredible, and the speed they're doing it at is absolutely insane. And I think that it's very, very important to understand this. So that, like, this is why I believe that a $10 price prediction is definitely possible. Um, like I said, the likeliness of it, yeah, it might not be very likely. It might not be, but then again, Veve sitting here going around securing licenses 2 years before everyone knows what the hell an NFT even is, preparing for something that, like, they had so much faith in NFTs that they were preparing and selling it and selling the term license, like getting licensors on board and things like that before people even really understood what NFTs was. You see how forward thinking that is? How likely is it that someone is going to do that? Like, how likely is it that people are going to decide to get together and do that? And how likely is it that their plan and their vision of seeing this would actually even come true? They put 2 years into it and got nothing from it. No returns, no nothing. They spent all this time doing this, and it could have easily flopped, and the NFTs could have never taken off even slightly. But it came. It was very, very unlikely that would happen, that things would happen for Veve the way that it has. But it has. And that's what I mean. Because the idea is great, because it makes sense, because they really understand the space where it's heading and the true value that this brings for so many different industries and so many different communities and fan bases and things like that. Honestly, it's just a matter of time for Veve until Veve has mass adoption. It really is, because there's going to be something for everyone. And when it comes down to the NFT format, I mean, I don't know how possible or likely this is, but what if Veve gets to the point, like, let's say 20 years from now, let's talk more 20 years from now, it gets to the point where people are releasing entire indie movies or something as NFTs. Or like, like something else, like creating, or Marvel wants to create a little short series, something 10 minutes, and throwing it on Veve at NFT format for only a couple fans to enjoy. And then the Veveverse, you can go have a movie theater or something in the Veveverse where you can sit here and watch some of these films, these short films or clips or something like that. Like, you can charge people in the Veveverse to get in here, and you're watching some Marvel short film that's exclusive to Veve, and only a few people even have this because maybe Marvel releases it and they release it for like $10,000 or something crazy, and or maybe even more. And people sitting here making money off of it in the Veveverse, like, and all of this, like, and this is just crazy ideas for the future. Like, I notice I said 20 years from now, man. A lot can happen. Veve has shown you a lot can happen in even 1 year. 20? And that is what this is designed for. So you have to realize Veve is designed to really be here and to be around. So is Veve a $10 at a $10 point right now where it's bringing that type of value? Hell no. Is it going to be there in 5 years? Who knows? Probably not. Is it going to be there in 10 years? Possibly. But a lot can happen in 20 years. And every year that passes, Veve gets closer. Like, more ideas come, more things that can move things in the direction that it needs to go in, and more changes can be made to really continue pushing this project. And as the years keep going, faith in the project will keep rising and getting bigger and bigger and better. So I think that is very important to think of what's realistic for Veve and the position that they're in right now. The position that they're in right now. That being said, man, let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. This is some of the reasons that, like, this is some of why I see what I see and see it how I see it. Even though there's not a lot of, like, just the same way a technical analysis can't say, give you a definitive answer that, oh yes, Veve is going, like, Omi is definitely going to hit $1 or definitely going to hit so and so. Like, I can't sit here and say, okay, all this is going to happen this perfectly and it's going to do it. But based on the history of these people and how they have run businesses in the past and how they have kept going and kept pushing, and they're hiring the right people, hiring high quality people, partnering with the right people, I mean, those are all good signs to me that we can see something very big and very special coming from Veve. So let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. I just think that a lot of people really think very narrow about Veve and kind of try to compare it and box it into the crypto space and other businesses and things like that, and don't give Veve credit for the fact that we have never seen anything like this in the history of the world. So that is why. And also, like, the NFT space is brand new and they're already dominating. They're kings of this because they were forward thinking and secured a bunch of insane licenses before anybody was even thinking to get licenses, or anybody was thinking about the longevity of NFTs and why the world would be turning to NFTs in the future. Like, we didn't even talk about the car market and old school car collectibles and things like that, how some cars is worth insane amounts of money, and like stuff like the Mona Lisa. I don't know how it would work, but what if they could literally, whoever owns the Mona Lisa, whoever can give permission to recreate the Mona Lisa, what if you could get the digital version of the Mona Lisa at some point throughout Veve's lifespan? What if you could get a verifiable digital Mona Lisa and the art world starts to come? See, think about the advancement of technology. This is where I wanna end this video. Think about the advancement of technology. What if it would be possible to have a whole art collection where it's like real world artists where these paintings is going for like 40 million and things like that? What if we could have that on Veve? What if technology gets to a place where you have real life picture frames and stuff, and on these picture frames, you can pull up Veve assets. You input your asset and hang it on the wall. So you can literally have digital versions of the art that you actually own on Veve displayed across your house on different frames and things like that. What if we get to a point in technology where we can do that? We can get your digital asset displayed around your home with different picture frames or things like that. I think that people really sleep on what's actually possible. I think people sleep on what's actually possible. So, I mean, things like that, this is the stuff that goes through my mind and the moves that I'm thinking of. And I think that the Veve team and the Ecomi team is much smarter than me. I think they're much smarter than me. So if these are the ideas that I'm having, I'm trusting that they're having these ideas. They're doing the due diligence, like, oh, is something like that possible? Or can we ever do this at some point? Does it make sense to do this? Can we take over the art world as well? Like, let's say somebody buys this. Let's say somebody buys this exclusive rare painting that's just been found. If somebody bought that in real life, can they somehow attach that to the NFT in Veve? Like, is there some way to really start incorporating Veve in all these billion-dollar industries? Is that possible? Is that the goal? Are we heading there? So collectibles is a very, very big space. People collect a lot of things. People collect cars. People do collect artwork. People collect action figures. People collect comics. Collecting in itself is huge. Are we getting things to the quality of the Mona Lisa? Can we do that? Can we get digital versions of these made and it actually has even a piece of the value as the original Mona Lisa? Can we do that? I don't know. I don't know the space well enough to know if that would even be adopted well, if people would want that. But you never know. Like, you really never know where this space can go and how it's going to evolve when when it comes down to the technology and all that stuff. So let me know your thoughts on this. I know this is a lot to digest. I definitely would love to have some conversation about this. This is this is the way that I think about it. This is the way that I look at it. I mean, ultimately, we all just don't know. We don't know what's possible. We don't know what's going to come. But I believe that as long as this team continues to be forward thinking and considers things like this, I think that Veve is sitting in a good spot to do some things that we have never seen before and constantly keep coming out with bangers and huge partnerships and deals that people might not even realize. Like, who got on Veve and ever thought that Givenchy was one of the brands you were going to see on here? Who, like, no one got on here. Like, you see Batman, you see Cartoon Network, you're not thinking, oh, Givenchy's going to come. But it's come, and it's actually performing very, very well on the platform. So you never know what you're going to see with this platform, and you never know how many different audiences are going to be on here. And once they add cash, the ability to cash out and stuff like that, keep in mind when I was talking about YouTubers, there could literally be Veve people who make an entire living only on Veve, not Omi or anything like that. People could use Veve and make a living flipping things like that all day, every day, strictly just on Veve. At some point in time, that could become a whole career, Veve. So if YouTubers come out and start making Veve a career, like, I've only been talking about the entertainment side. You have this side that we're on, that I fall into. You have that entertainment side I was talking about, but you also have this side where you have business people in the Veve space who Veve has become their job. So, I mean, the future, like, you never know what's going to happen in the future. So this is the stuff that I think about. This is the possibilities that I see. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to drop that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace out, Joe.